What's up? This is Taskmark 2002, and this is my Tna Impact Analysis for January 17, 2013. First, I want to say thanks to Andre Corbillo for becoming my very first subscriber. I appreciate that very much, Andre. Tna Impact. I will not be making any references to that. And when I say that, I am talking about the thing that this entire episode was built around. I have no interest in it, even with the result of what happened. I'm not talking about it. So Jeff Hardy comes out at the beginning of the show with his lousy promo talking about, I guess, he won the match against Aries and Rude with his typical starting out softly and then elevating his voice at the end of the sentence, every sentence that he says. But what was interesting about it was the crowd started chanting, "You still got it?" Because wow, I mean, what did Hardy do to lose it and then get it back in 4 days? I'm trying to think of what that was, because I wasn't aware that he had lost anything and regained it in 4 days. Theme park visitor crowd with a few wrestling fans sprinkled in there somewhere, but not enough. So like I said, considering what went on with this episode, it was clear that Spike TV needed a good, solid lead-in for Bellator. That was the whole point of this episode. You can say whatever you want about it. This is the reason why what happened last night happened. Because Spike TV wanted a solid lead-in for Bellator, which debuted after Impact. Now, I'm fine with the commercials during the breaks. Okay, you show a fighter walking past the production truck on his way to the venue. You got graphics on the screen. You got a Bellator countdown clock in the bottom right hand of the screen. I get all that. You're trying to hammer Bellator home. But we don't need to hear the commentators making reference to Bellator during the matches. Going into detail about who's fighting and what kind of style this MMA fighter has during the matches you're supposed to be commentating? A little overkill, maybe? Anyway, because I guarantee you, I didn't watch the Bellator broadcast, but do you think they even mentioned TNA once? Maybe they did with King Mo, since he's supposed to be a wrestler in TNA soon. But other than that, any other time? I don't know. If they did, then let me know. But I doubt it. But if they did, let me know. The gut check results. Jay Bradley was picked to get a, and I just love the part when they say a TNA roster contract. And you know damn well he's not getting a roster contract. He's going to OVW. Now Christian York didn't go down to OVW because He's been in the business for 15 years. There's really no point of him going down to OVW. The man has years experience, even though he may not have been with a major company during that time. What was it, 2002 he was last with TNA? But the point is, everybody is just not going to be put on the roster. I was happy that Jay Brawler was picked. I think that he has that great heel persona. He embodies what a heel is about. He embraces it. And I thought he displayed it very well. But I really don't see him being on the TNA roster yet. Now, if he is, okay, I'm not going to have that much of an issue with it. I don't know what kind of impact they would allow him to have if that were the case. But maybe he just goes down to OVW. Now I want to talk about Robert Roode and Austin Aries. Once again, they were doing the little comedy stuff that I cannot stand. But there was a key moment that really could signify a major change in TNA. They were both in the ring talking, trying to one-up each other. And then Chavo Guerrero and Hernandez come out. Now, who didn't think at that moment, take the goddamn belts off these two guys that don't mean shit and put the belts on those guys in the ring? Because I'm going to say this. If TNA cuts out the comedy garbage with Robert Roode and Austin Aries and makes them a serious-minded heel team, Roode and Aries will be the Tully Blanchard and Arn Anderson of this wrestling era. And this will be the nucleus that TNA will have to rebuild their tag team division. You go out to the indies, put some tag teams together, bring them in, and develop them. You have Roode and Aries as your nucleus. You don't have to do it all at once. Just bring teams in slowly. They're going to have a fresh look. They're going to give your tag team division a fresh look. And these teams, one after another, trying to unseat Roode and Aries as champions. I really think that this is a good thing that TNA is going to do, because it looks like they're going to do it. But make them serious. I mean, you already got Christopher Daniels and Kazarian as the smart alecky tag team. You got that already. Now you need that contrast. You need to have the serious-minded team that's going to come out there and say, we are the best. We have the titles. If you want to come get them, come get them. And build around that. Gail Kim against Velvet Sky, #1 contendership match because of the disputed victory at the women's gauntlet match at Genesis. I thought there was one very interesting thing that happened with this match. Gail Kim was trying to do a neck breaker, and she was trying to twist Velvet's arms around, and Velvet kind of wasn't in sync with Gail, and she falls to the mat, and then Gail gives her this kick and then picks her back up and then delivers that neck breaker. And I looked at this a few times, replayed it a few times, it really looked like she was frustrated that she didn't get to execute that neck breaker the first time. That may have been a shoot there. It may have been. It may have been. But I just thought it was interesting how it looked. Because Gail knows that she's got to carry her. And yes, Velvet delivered a very nice snap suplex, but you still don't get it, Velvet Marks. You still don't get it. That little snap suplex that she did is not going to be enough. Gail Kim knew her job. I got to carry this bitch because they're going to put the belt on her. But she has to work with me. So the kick looked shootish. But maybe I'm looking more into what really was there. But I just thought it was interesting. Okay. Like I said, I'm not making any reference to that. So let's jump to the result of that. Taz is a member of Aces and Eights. The attack was solid. I could have enjoyed it better if the camera didn't keep cutting to Hogan's daughter. I could have enjoyed the attack more, but it was solid. But it's not going to negate all the crap that has come before then. That ship that I said was at the ocean floor is off the ocean floor now. But it is nowhere near the surface. TNA, you got a lot of work to do to restore Aces and Eights to being a group that's feared, a group that's intimidating, a group that's going to get rambunctious. But then I thought, isn't this going to be the same reaction that there was when Devon was revealed to be a member of Aces and Eights at Bound for Glory? Oh, the shock, surprise! But then the cool down, and then the processing of what happened, and then coming up with the question, Devon? What does Taz have to offer being a member of Aces and Eights? What does he have to offer? We'll see. Next week's edition of Impact. I'm recording this on January 18th. The taping is tonight. So Saturday morning, you're probably going to go on the website if you want to read the spoilers and see what the result was for the Christopher Daniels Jeff Hardy match for the World Heavyweight Championship. Also, Tara defends the Women's Championship against Velvet Sky. And you have Rob Van Dam and Christian York against Kenny King and Zema Ion. Those are just three of the matches that I read just now. So that's pretty much it. The show was what it was. It's what it was. Okay, if you want to get at me at Twitter, my username is TazMark2002. Email TazMark2002@gmail.com. And of course, like, dislike, comments at the bottom, do it. And subscribe if you'd like. TazMark2002, gone.